What if the creepy TV show you vaguely remember as a kid never actually existed? Not canceled, not lost, never real. Because according to dozens of people online, there was a children's show in the 1970s called Candle Cove. Pirate puppet show, cheap sets, disturbing characters, and one scene so horrifying, some viewers still refuse to describe it in detail. But here's the problem. Nobody can find proof the show was ever broadcast. No tapes, no station records, nothing. And some parents claim their children weren't watching a TV show at all. They were staring at static. The deeper the conversation went, the stranger the memories became. People remembered entire scenes. A little girl named Janice talking to Pirate Percy. A ship drifting through fog. Long moments where the puppets would stop moving completely and stare directly into the camera. No music, no dialogue, just silence. One user said their younger brother started screaming during those scenes. Another claimed they used to hide behind the couch whenever the skin taker appeared. But then someone mentioned the final episode, and suddenly the thread stopped feeling nostalgic. Because nearly everyone remembered the ending the same way. Screaming. Not cartoon screaming. Real screaming. According to multiple users, the final episode felt completely different from the rest of the show. The puppets stood frozen while distorted music played softly in the background. Then Pirate Percy started screaming. Not words, just raw screaming. One by one, the other characters joined in. Louder, more desperate. The camera slowly zoomed closer to their faces the entire time. Closer, closer, until finally, the skin taker appeared on screen. Watching silently, one user claimed the screaming lasted nearly 5 minutes before the screen suddenly cut to static. Then black. No credits. No explanation. And apparently, the show never aired again. But the most disturbing part of the entire story came from the final reply in the thread. Because one user decided to ask his mother if she remembered Candle Cove. Her answer changed everything. She said she remembered him sitting in front of the TV every week around that time. But according to her, there was never any puppet show. He was watching static. 30 minutes of static. Every single time. That single comment transformed Candle Cove from creepy nostalgia into something much darker. Because suddenly people started asking impossible questions. If the show wasn't real, then why did strangers remember the exact same details? The same characters. The same dialogue, the same horrifying ending. People searched for evidence. Old broadcast schedules. TV archives. Local station records. Nothing. It was like the show had been erased completely. Or worse, never existed at all. And then the theories started. Some believed it was mass false memory. Others thought children accidentally picked up illegal broadcast signals from abandoned stations. But the darkest theory was this. What if the children really were watching static, but their minds saw something else inside it? There's actually a psychological phenomenon where the brain creates faces and patterns from random noise, especially in children, especially in darkness. But even that explanation falls apart eventually, because people who discovered the story years later started having dreams about the show too. Even people who had never seen the original forum thread. One man claimed he dreamed about Pirate Percy standing silently at the foot of his bed. Another said they heard screaming hidden inside white noise audio after reading the story late at night. And a woman online claimed her daughter drew a smiling figure with black eyes, then labeled it the Skin Taker, without being told the name first. Maybe those stories are fake. Maybe all of this is just internet mythology feeding itself. But that's why Candle Cove works so well as an urban legend. It doesn't feel finished. It spreads like a memory. And here's where things become even stranger. Candle Cove was eventually traced back to a horror writer named Chris Straub. The entire thing started as fictional creepypasta. Just a made-up forum story designed to feel real. That should have ended the mystery immediately. Except it didn't. Because after the story went viral, thousands of people insisted they genuinely remembered the show from childhood. Some even described scenes that were never included in the original story. Psychologists call this false memory contamination. But honestly, that explanation almost makes the story creepier, because it means human memory can be manipulated far more easily than we think. A fictional story can become emotionally real, real enough that people swear they lived through it. And maybe that's the true horror behind Candle Cove. Not the screaming, not the puppets, not even the skin taker. It's the idea that your mind can create memories that never happened and still make them feel real. So here's the question. If enough people remember something, does it eventually become true? Because somewhere tonight, someone is reading about Candle Cove for the first time. Maybe alone, maybe in the dark. And later, when the room gets quiet, they might start imagining scenes that were never described anywhere. New scenes, personal scenes, memories that feel oddly familiar, as if the show is still growing inside people's heads, waiting for someone else to remember it.